We made history with the election of President Barack Obama. He called us to service as there remains much work to do to end unemployment, poverty, and crime in our communities. There's so many books on how we can accomplish this. But this year, everyone's raving about this summer's hottest new book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America by Chicago's own Emmanuel Barbee. A graduate of Northeastern Illinois University, Barbee addresses key ways we back our families and communities. But unlike so many other books on this topic, Barbee captivates his reader, presenting solutions through a riveting life story. It's entertaining, it's different, it's exciting. The perfect book club selection. Don't be left out. Get your copy of The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Order today at Amazon.com.
Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. If you are new to this channel, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. I use YouTube and Facebook Live to stream my podcast. If you don't understand English, no worries. I provide a written transcript in the group with the same name as the show. I also cite all of my sources under Show Improved section on the transcript. You can find all of my pages under the About section on this YouTube channel. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from the podcast community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing and legal services, all for free. I will be hosting my online talk show every Thursday until November 19th. We will restart the show beginning January 7th, 2021. Our goal is to raise $500,000 for our film project, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. We are sincerely grateful to all of our supporters, no matter how big or small the donations are. I am encouraging everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups to please purchase my ebook on Amazon. It's available for $9.99. This will help us get, and also help us get this ebook on the bestsellers list so that people can take our cause serious. Our Christian business, GRCAM of Chicago, or the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, will be in the business of creating docudramas, short films, theater, photography, fine arts, music, poetry, literature, sculpture, and dance for inner city youth. Once this virus is cleaned up, we plan on launching African tours in order for us to move from behind the computer and make a real connection with our global Black family on the continent, starting in South Africa, in order to build a bridge between the diaspora and the continental Africans. Please consider becoming a monthly contributor to our Patreon page or PayPal page. We are excited to partner with Teespring. On there we have a virtual store, GRCAM merchandise, such as COVID face masks, coffee mugs, posters, handbags, and t-shirts. All proceeds will go towards our film project. You can advertise your book's business on our platform. This podcast is an extension of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. I created GRCAM because I got tired of all of the division among Black people. Pan-Africanism was not working for Black Americans. I wanted to start a new movement for Black people to unite us based on individuals who care about solving Black issues. I created GRCAM in 1991 on a site called Gopher. I wanted to create an organization that focused specifically on solving Black issues in America. I wanted to connect with other like-minded African Americans, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Canadians, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Europeans, African immigrants, Afro-Latinos throughout the diaspora. This is a podcast where we talk about solving Black issues, African issues, using a spiritual perspective as it pertains to the great awakening of our people that has been prophesied. I am encouraging at least 10 people on my friends list or 10 people in my social groups to consider coming on the show November 10th to celebrate GRCAM 29th anniversary. If you are serious, then please send me your email address to my Facebook inbox. For those of you who are unable to participate on the show because of your work schedule, no worries. I am willing to work around your schedule. We can do a pre-recorded words of encouragement or a sermon the week before, November 10th. Just check your calendar and select which day and time works best for you. Then we can make that happen. We're doing the best we can while we can. Our objective is to get our film project fully funded and play it by ear during COVID-19. Once this virus is cleaned up, then we will shoot our film and promote our film in selected movie theaters and sell our DVDs. Together, we will put GRCAM on the map and turn my vision for Black America into a reality. I understand many of you have families and are working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. If you are unable to participate, no worries. When you are able, then please listen to this podcast, leave a comment, good or bad, and share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Instructions on how to participate. First, watch my Facebook Live video called Side A. After I finish with my presentation, then I will open up the virtual lines. Just click on the phone icon to interact with me in real time through Facebook Messenger as a voice call for Q&A. This will be called Side B. The reason why the time range from 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Central Time is to give my international friends a chance to participate on the show as well. Tonight's topic, GRCAM stand with the SARS Nigerian youth protesters. Last Thursday, I touched on this topic about the senseless violence the Nigerian government has brought on its citizens. Our condolence goes out to the young Nigerian protesters who are being targeted by corrupt police. Around the same time I was working on my presentation, I was informed that one of my family members was killed by an urban terrorist in Chicago. I want to thank everyone on my Facebook friends list for showing some love on my page. If it was up to me, I would have left Chicago 10 years ago, but my creator wants me to create my Christian business in Chicago and the devil's stronghold, the Black Ghettos. He wants me to set up satellite communities within the ghettos to assist Black families that want to utilize our programs and services. This will help our credibility when we expand to Africa. Before I share my thoughts about what's happening in Nigeria, I will play a video in order for this to hit home. Then I will share my presentation and open up the virtual phone lines. Here's a video clip from Dr. Mumbi, the SARS protests against road cops in Nigeria. The same Nigerian military will never do this to any European citizens. but yet they'll do it to their own. So it's just really sad. But here's the video. You can actually watch that video on my transcript.
Welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How are you doing? How's everything going? I'm reporting live and direct from the foothills of Mount Zion, just sending our deepest condolences, our prayers, our, message of solidarity and support to our Nigerian revolutionaries, our Nigerian brothers and sisters, as they go through what seems to be one of the darkest nights. They're already calling it Black Tuesday for what happened yesterday, the 20th of October. 2010, 2020. I told you these guys operate on numbers, and I'm sure you've heard about the Lekki massacre. By now, it's trending globally. It was trending top 2 in the divided states. It's trending across Africa. Here in Kenya, Nigeria, and police brutality, etc., is like the top 5, and we totally stand in solidarity. So what happened is that Nigerian security forces have allegedly shot dead demonstrators protesting against police brutality in Lagos, and this is according to several witnesses. There's videos all over social media, all over Twitter, etc., showing the demonstrators. There was a woman standing on top of a car, and she was telling her fellow protesters it was a peaceful demonstration. She was telling her fellow protesters, sit down, calm down, because they were kind of agitated. This was yesterday evening, calm down. There's no way the police would open fire on us, as we're peacefully demonstrating. And then the next thing, you literally see the military stepping forward and gunning down, human beings like they're cattle or goats or something. It's totally insane, and this has triggered something. And I really believe Nigeria has reached the point of no return. Are we witnessing the Africa Spring? Definitely. And the thing is, 4 witnesses actually told Reuters news agency that soldiers fired at the protesters who had gathered in the Lekki district of Nigeria's largest city, Lagos, in defiance of an indefinite curfew imposed hours earlier by the authorities. And what's happening is Buhari's government is trying to, put a lid on these massive hashtag #EndSARS demonstrations that threaten to topple his government, etc., etc. And then a couple of days ago, we saw the government of, the military of Nigeria saying that they were going to be conducting a nationwide exercise all of a sudden, and it was not related to the protesters. And then now this happens. Although the Nigerian military, they are on Twitter. They actually released a statement where they said, it's all fake news. They were not involved. No soldiers were at the scene, etc., etc. And they say, because there were some headlines that were saying, Nigerian army seizes corpses of peaceful EndSARS protesters killed by security operatives. It's not clear how many died or what exactly is going on, but are we witnessing the beginning of the Africa Spring, the Africa revival, the Africa revolution? Because it will be the youth. A lot of people have spoken out. I think the Nicki Minaj's of this world also said that, the EndSARS, the youth of Nigeria are being heard loud and clear. The EFF came out in solidarity. I'll definitely do a separate show on that. And we're just, it's now or never. The revolution is here. And the thing is, someone had even written, because I did a show where I talked about how, they're going to try and make this a false flag to bring in the military. And a lot of the youth contacted me and said, no, it's actually the youth that are involved. It's a genuine movement. They have their requests. They have their demands. But now we see this. And the thing is, allegedly, the EndSARS movement, they'd come up with their list of demands. Allegedly, the government had, in word, verbally accepted them. So they were just continuing to protest to make sure that it was implemented. And then this happens. And this is just... It's just really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Of course, it's all over. And the thing is, hundreds of people were at the site at the time of the shooting, and, which witnesses said took place around 7 p.m. local time. One Alfred Omonugo, a security officer, he said, they started firing ammunition towards the crowd. They were firing into the crowd. I saw the bullet hit 1 or 2 people. And seriously, beloveds, you have to recognize the military, the police, all these are different spirits. They worship certain entities that require blood. And Amnesty International, they even reported, they said, Amnesty International had received credible but disturbing evidence of excessive use of force occasioning deaths of protesters at Lekki Tollgate in Lagos while we continue to investigate the killings. They were advising Nigerian authorities and international law, security forces, many others to just adhere to the international conventions that they are a part of, which says you can't open fire on, peaceful protesters. So we'll definitely have to see. Apparently there's a blackout of this story in Nigeria itself. The Senate has come out and demanded that Buhari give some kind of statement. This story is definitely still unfolding, but we stand in full solidarity with our Nigerian brothers and sisters at such a time as this. May the Most High, the God of Africa, may His will prevail for your nation and for this continent. May this really be, the start of a total revolution, revival, reformation, and restoration of our people, and any plans to kind of derail the process, hijack the process for foreign entities, etc., may they be exposed and totally shattered, scattered, and battered. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you have any further information on this story, please leave it in the comments below. I'll find you there. Until next time.
All right, so End SARS is a social movement against police brutality in Nigeria. Young protesters is calling for the disbanding of SARS, which is an acronym for Special Anti-Robbery Squad. It's a notorious unit of the Nigerian police force with a long record of abuse going back as far as 1992. Their mission was to tackle issues of armed robbery and kidnapping. There have been allegations about SARS officers who were engaged in kidnapping, murder, theft, rape, unlawful arrests, extortion, illegal roadblocks, conducting unwanted checks and searches, tortures, and human rights abuses. What sparked a lot of outrage was a video footage showing SARS officers dragging two Nigerians out of a car and shooting one of them in cold blood. Mass demonstrations occurred throughout major cities of Nigeria. About 20 million hashtags have been accumulated on Twitter alone. The Nigerian protesters proposed a list of 5 demands to their governments. Number 1, to end SARS. Number 2, an immediate release of all arrests during the protests, as well as compensation for all who died under police brutality in Nigeria. 3, they demanded an independent body to be set up within 10 days to investigate and prosecute all reports of police misconduct. 4, the protesters asked for the psychological evaluation and retraining of SARS operatives before they are deployed to any other police unit. And 5, they asked for an increase in the salaries of officers of the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police force announced that they were going to dissolve the unit immediately. However, it was noted similar announcements have been made in recent years to pacify the public without the unit actually being disbanded, and that the government had merely planned to reassign SARS officers. There have been international demonstration in solidarity with what's happening in Nigeria. The movement has also grown increasingly critical of President Muhammad Buhari's response to the protests. The most disrespectful thing to see is happening to Nigerian citizens is to see the Nigerian military shooting at unarmed protesters. Here at the Black Media, we want to see Nigeria prosper. This is a place for us to share our voice and to let the global Black family know what's happening. The grassroots community activist movement condemned the military shooting of unarmed protesters. International celebrities are speaking out against the senseless violence of unarmed protesters. I don't understand, as a Black American or African American, how an African government can brutalize its own citizens. I am done with my presentation. We are now opening up the virtual phone lines. I am encouraging my Nigerian friends to come on the show and speak about what's happening on the ground. Phone lines are now open.
The issue of Nigeria is a very delicate one. It's a one that I'm looking at the chart and everybody basically saying nonsense. One of the atrocities that happened to us as Nigerians was after the end of colonization. Where Nigeria is going was supposed to be discussed. It never happened. Rather, you have France coming in. Of course, what happened with the eastern part of Nigeria, how you have the civil war that went on. From the time of that civil war to today, Nigeria has never get together as a country to say, where do we go from here? Rather, every Nigerian intellectual ran out of the country. When everybody ran out of the country to come to the white man's land, you leave the country for whoever gets around the country. Yoruba people used to say, for those of you who are Yoruba there, when you leave this country for the criminals get to run the country the way they wish. So you have a lot of online warriors talking about Buhari, but many of them has never put the skin on the game to make this country better. You understand what I'm saying? Nigerians, every single Nigerian loves to bribe the police. The same police that they are choosing now, if Nigeria wants to go from point A to point B, they will rather bribe their way out of a situation instead of to go by the rule of law. Now you are seeing the manifestation of all Nigerians bribing. Every part of Nigerian government is being bribed. From getting contracts, from Senate, from Parliament, from regular citizens. If you want to go and get your birth certificate. When I was coming to Nigeria in 2019, I went to New York to get my visa because I don't have a Nigerian passport. Do you know how much these people are collecting in bribery?
Like 300 USD.
Yes, and none of those money. You see, I was born by a father that says he will go to prison before he bribe anybody. When I was coming back to US because I was born here, they put my sister and I in jail because my father refused to bribe them. We were supposed to leave Nigeria on the 3rd of July. We left Nigeria on the 4th of July. You understand what I'm saying? My father said, these are American citizens. Go ahead and put them in jail. They get used to it. He refused to bribe anybody. Nigerians, before any police ask Nigerians for bribery, Nigerians are taking out money and bribing them. Now you create the monsters. Those are young monsters. Nigerians, by definition, are criminals themselves. They love to bribe. They will bribe by way out of murder. They bribe by way out of rape. They bribe by way to schools. Every single part of life, they are bribing In 1984, the United States, the British said they wanted to go and interrupt you and colonize you again. In 2019, there was a report that came out of the British that said they're looking for just a single excuse to come and start a war in Nigeria. Be careful of who you are serving in that country right now. Nigeria has already separated. The Yorubas have their own area, the Hausas have their own area, the Igbo has their own area. You already separated as a group. What you're about to do, what you are doing, is you're doing the work of those that colonized you the first time, and they're coming back. But this time, you gotta be ready, because all of us will suffer from it. So I will let you answer, and you can tell me, did Buhari wanted to implement an anti-corruption law? What happened?
I want to address the young people for tonight. God wants his people to know, to the young people, the millennial generation, you are loved. You are not forgotten. You're not left alone. Each one of us, each one, teach one. No black child should be left behind. No child should be left behind, period. The shooting and the abduction, the selling the bodies and the selling the body parts, and the sex trade is flawed right now among the black people. There is a supernatural takeover that God is about to do. We are a chosen generation. This is why we have such a hard time. We are a chosen generation. God is not going to continue to let these things happen. But God is trying to get our attention. But you have to hold on. God is in full control. We have such a hard time as black people because we are chosen. We are made in his image. If you can come together and not against each other, it will work. We can work together. It begins with us. It will work. Stop looking back into slavery and let's pray for bravery, strengthening, uplifting our heads. Know we are somebody. Know that you are somebody. Know that you are somebody. That God has a purpose and a plan for you. Just know in conclusion, God don't make no job and he don't make no mess. Let's not look back, but press towards Christ Jesus and the calling. Hallelujah. I'll turn it back over to you, Emmanuel Barbee.